Federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh was in Niagara recently. The Source caught up to him at the Black Sheep Lounge after a working lunch with Jenny Stevens, Wayne Gates, and candidates that will be on the ballot later this year in the federal election.
So I started off my day in Port Colborne, went to the farmers market. I met up, of course, with Malcolm Allen, one of the only New Democrats to hold the federal seat here in the Niagara region. We've had this seat provincially for a long time. There's been a lot of support in Welland and the Niagara region for the NDP. But federally, we had Malcolm Allen, so we're here to support Malcolm and really talk to the people that really want a stronger voice to represent them. They feel let down and a bit disappointed with the Liberal government. They don't feel like the Conservatives are going to make their lives better. They feel like, given what we've seen in Ontario, Conservatives have made their life worse with the cuts that Doug Ford brought in. So we're looking to show people that there's an alternative. We can have a representative and a government that's going to work for you. New Democrats are going to be on your side, fight hard to make sure there's good manufacturing, we fight climate change, we make housing affordable, and we build a good future for people.
How would you describe your leadership style and balancing being a strong leader as well as consulting with citizens, with local members that are running for the party like you're doing today?
Well, I think it's exactly that. There's a balance that you've got to strike between you've got to hear people out. And I want to always make sure that everything I do keeps people at the heart of my decisions. People are at the heart of all of our commitments. We've got to make sure that people are front and foremost. So that's something that kind of guides me, making sure that I look at what's going to improve the lives of people. And for me, I was always taught that leadership is service. So the word that I grew up learning for being a leader was muksevadar, which means the main servant. So for me, leadership means service, and that means serving the people around you. So I think you got to balance that with then taking a bold decision and then sticking to it. So I took a strong decision on protecting the environment. I took strong decisions on taking on the telecom giants. Right now, we pay the highest fees in the world when it comes to our cell phone and internet. And I said, we've got to call out the fact that the big telecom companies are ripping us off and not be afraid to call them out. So I think there's the balance between listening to folks and hearing what they have to say and then having the courage to go out there and take a stance and be willing to fight for what's right.
Singh believes that the time is right for people to strongly consider the NDP as a viable alternative to the Liberals and Conservatives.
We're looking at kind of the landscape right now, and folks have seen 4 years of the Liberal government, and they don't feel like that's helped them out. They look at what Doug Ford's done in Ontario, and so they don't feel like Conservatives are good for them. So really I'm saying, listen, you've seen those two. You've seen Liberals federally, you're seeing what Conservatives do provincially. Neither of them are the way. New Democrats are going to understand what you're going through. People are wanting to build a good future for themselves and their kids, and they're looking at jobs where there's a lot of precarious and unstable jobs, and they want a long-lasting, good, stable job. We're going to be there for people. We know that housing costs are going up, so we're going to say, listen, previous governments in Ottawa, federal and conservative, Liberal and conservative, haven't really addressed housing. We're going to build affordable homes and make sure that you've got a good future. And we know people are getting more and more concerned about the climate, about the environment. And we've got a bold plan to fight climate change while protecting and supporting communities and workers and jobs. And we've got a plan to create more jobs. So I think our message and our vision is resonating with people. And finally, we want to expand our healthcare system to include medication coverage for all. And I think that's something that really connects with a lot of people. They love our healthcare system, but they want to see it go beyond just being able to go to a doctor and find out what's wrong with you. We also want to include the treatment so that you can not just find out what's wrong and get diagnosed, but you can also pay for the treatment.
In Niagara, you're watching The Source.